Saudi Arabia, Christianity is banned. Only Islam is allowed to be practiced in Saudi Arabia. It is a tough place to be a Christian.
Ever wondered what it's like to hold a Bible in countries where it's seen as a threat?
With the radical Islamic Taliban in control, Christians face unspeakable horrors.
From North Korea to Iran, we'll show the dangerous realities Christians face every day.
Youssef Nardakani was arrested back in 2009 due to his Christianity.
You won't believe the courage and faith that keep them going.
The report details how the Workers' Party of Korea, led by Kim Jong-un, targets and tortures Christians.
North Korea. The government in North Korea thinks that having a Bible is one of the worst crimes that can be done. The regime is very strict, and they see anything that threatens their power or their beliefs as a direct danger.
나는 내 가족들에게 전합니다. 정말 씻을 수 없는.
The country's leaders have a lot of power over its people, and one way they do that is by making sure everyone follows the state's ideas. It is thought to be dangerous to support something different from thought, like religion. That's the reason there is no religious freedom, and the Bible, along with Christianity, is not allowed. The government has even made its own religion, with people worshiping the country's leaders, especially the Kim family, who are seen as gods by many.
You said that the people literally worship the Kim family.
4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, people coming out of their houses went to those statues, required to bow in front of the statues.
It is not only okay to worship the Kims, it is necessary to do so. Any other religion is not allowed. Christians believe in one God and preach love, peace, and justice. They are seen as a threat to this philosophy that is controlled by the government. People think the Bible is especially dangerous because it tells people about freedom, hope, and something bigger than the government. In North Korea, if you are caught with a Bible, bad things can happen. If someone is caught with a Bible, they could spend years in jail, be made to work, or even be executed. The government punishes people very harshly because they think having a Bible is an act of resistance against the state. Defectors, or people who have gotten out of North Korea, say that families were sent to jail camps because one person was caught with a Bible. A lot of the time, people are made to work in these horrible camps without being able to eat or rest. Many don't make it. Even worse, having a Bible can get you in trouble with the law, and not just for the person who gets caught. Usually, the whole family gets in trouble. Because of a law in North Korea called guilt by association, if one person is found guilty of a crime, their whole family can be sent to jail camps, even if they had nothing to do with it. In other words, one person's act of faith could get their parents, brothers, and children in trouble. Many Christians hide their religion, even from people they love, because they are afraid that something like this will happen. But many Christians in North Korea are very brave, even though they are scared. People meet in secret to worship, share Bible lines, and pray at underground churches. People who go to these secret talks know they are risky, but they think it is worth it. People sneak Bibles into the country, often putting their own lives in great danger. Some people learn whole parts of the Bible by heart, even though they know that having a paper copy could kill them if they are caught. They keep their faith alive in a place where it's almost impossible to do so publicly by keeping the Bible's words in their minds and hearts. For people in North Korea, the Bible is more than just a holy book. In the face of one of the world's most cruel governments, it stands for faith, hope, and resistance.
In Saudi Arabia, Christianity is banned. Only Islam is allowed to be practiced in Saudi Arabia. It is a tough place to be a Christian.
What it's like for Christians in Saudi Arabia. It is hard and dangerous for Christians to live in Saudi Arabia. Many of them are expats working in different fields, and it's hard for them to practice their faith because of strict laws and cultural norms. Even though most of the Christians in the kingdom are from places where Christianity is common, they still face problems that are unique to living in an Islamic state. Worship in public is highly banned, which means that any prayer or Bible study group must meet in secret. To avoid being seen, Christians often get together in small groups at people's homes. People who attend these hidden meetings pray, sing songs, and share Bible stories while being very careful. They feel both exciting and risky. Members take turns hosting to spread the risk and keep things safe. Even though there are risks, Christians have a strong feeling of community. They get together in close-knit groups to share resources and offer spiritual and social support. These small groups are very important for reducing feelings of loneliness and fear because they let people share prayer wishes and support each other as they deal with the difficulties of living in a society dominated by Muslims. Some Christians start underground churches, which are organized groups that meet in secret to pray in a controlled way. Leaders are picked from within the group, and to avoid being found, places are often changed. There is a place for faith-based events in these groups, but meetings are held with great care. Leaders stress caution and teach members how to pray without drawing attention to themselves. For Christians, daily life can be hard. When they're out in public, they have to deal with a society that doesn't care about or is unfriendly to their views. Many people choose not to wear crosses or other obvious signs of their faith to avoid getting unwanted attention. Also, they don't talk about their views publicly, not even with co-workers and friends. Christians feel like they have to follow Islamic rules at work, like going to mosque events or celebrating Islamic holidays, just to fit in. The worry of being found out adds a lot of stress. Christians worry all the time that someone will report them to the police, which is bad for their mental health. Everyday tasks are stressful and tiring because of this worry. People are afraid because they might get in trouble with the law, be shunned by their peers, or even be violent. There are tight limits on who can read Christian books, like the Bible. It is against the law to have or distribute Christian books, so many Christians find creative ways to share their faith. Some people read the Bible on their phones, but this comes with risks, such as being watched online. When Christians do get a Bible, they often hide it away, which makes it hard for them to grow in their faith. Christians who live outside of their home country often need help from groups or churches in other countries. Small Christian villages in Saudi Arabia can stay alive with the help of these groups' tools, advice, and money. Some people work behind the scenes to make sure that Christians can get Bibles and other teaching materials. This helps them stay religious even though they live in a dangerous place. This outside help is very important for making Christians feel linked and cared for in a place where they are often left out. The Maldives. Being a Christian in the Maldives is hard because of the rules of the country. The law says that every person has to be a Muslim. This means that people who aren't Muslim can't be citizens. You can't be a part of that club if you don't follow the rules. It's like having a special club that only certain people can join. People take very seriously people who practice any religion other than Islam. If someone is caught following Christianity, it could be seen as treason. This means they are betraying their country in a very bad way. The punishments can be harsh, like fines or jail time. It's like breaking the most important school rule and getting the worst punishment. For Christians, having a Bible is enough to get them into a lot of trouble. There are also problems for tourists and people who aren't Muslim who go to the Maldives. People who go to the Maldives should be careful about what they say and do, because the country is known for its beautiful beaches and resorts. If a stranger talks about Christianity or tries to share their faith, it might get out of hand. The country has strict rules that many hotels and spas have to follow when they have guests from other countries. This means that tourists can't publicly show their faith and have to hide what they believe. It can be like wanting to play a game but not being able to use your best moves. Having a Bible can be very risky in a country that depends so much on tourists, where many people depend on them for their jobs. For Christians who live there or visit, the Bible is both a sign of their faith and a possible way to get into trouble. Having a prize that someone might find could get you into trouble. Christians in the Maldives have a hard time because they have to hide their faith in a place that is known for its beauty but has strict rules about religion. They live in fear of harsh punishments, which affects their daily lives and spiritual routines. A lot of Christians choose to meet in small groups to share their faith away from the public eye. They may share prayers or stories, but they never tell anyone else about their get-togethers. Because they need to be afraid and keep things secret to stay safe, their faith is a secret but important part of their lives.
A graduation ceremony for around 200 Al-Shabaab fighters, the latest recruits for the militants that rule over a third of Somalia.
Somalia. Being a Christian in Somalia is very dangerous. Things are very dangerous, especially because of a group called Al-Shabaab. This group doesn't let anyone follow Christianity, and they go out of their way to find Christians. Their strict view of Islam says that anyone who doesn't follow it is doing something wrong. It's like a mean kid at school who doesn't want anyone else to follow the rules. When people in Somalia choose to be Christians, the results can be very dangerous. If someone converts to Christianity or is found with a Bible, they face severe dangers. This could mean making violent threats against them or something even worse. Bullies seem to think that just believing in a different game makes you a target. A lot of Christians have to hide their faith because they are afraid of being found out. Many stories are told about people being hurt in Somalia. Because of their faith, some Christians have been hurt very badly by bloodshed. There are stories of people being hurt or even killed because they followed Jesus, for example. These are not made-up stories. They are true events that show how dangerous it is for Christians every day. Like hearing that a friend got hurt because they tried to play a different game. Some of the stories are very sad and show how brave people are in risking everything to keep their faith. One of the most worrying things is how Al-Shabaab chooses its targets. People who are new to Christianity often have to make the hardest choice. They can hide their faith or risk everything by telling everyone about it. Being in this situation is tough because they are afraid that if someone finds out, bad things will happen, like violence against their families. A lot of Christians hide because they're afraid to go to church or even talk about their faith. Even though it is very dangerous, the Bible is still a strong sign of faith for many Christians in Somalia. Having a Bible in your hand can mean hope and strength, even when you're scared. For these brave people, the Bible is more than just a book. It shows how much they love God and want to follow their faith. Many Christians are ready to take risks because their views are very important to them, even if it can be dangerous. In such a dangerous setting, the Bible shines as a light of faith in the midst of great danger, telling them of how strongly they believe in what they read. Afghanistan.
With the radical Islamic Taliban in control, Afghanistan's Christians face unspeakable horrors.
People who don't follow the Taliban's strict version of Islam have a very hard time since they took back control of Afghanistan. Sharia law, which is what the Taliban follow, doesn't allow for other religions, like Christianity. If you leave Islam, they say it's a crime that can get you killed, and they think having a Bible is a very bad thing. The difficult environment in Afghanistan has made things very hard for Christians, and many have had to hide their faith to escape getting severely punished. For the Taliban, Christianity and the Bible in particular are dangerous because they don't follow their traditions. If someone is caught with a Bible, they could be arrested, put in jail, or even killed. Even though they are in danger, some Christians in Afghanistan still follow their faith. To keep from being caught, these Christians living underground have to be very careful. They meet in secret and pray quietly. People do even easy things like pray or read the Bible in secret because they know that if they are caught, they could die. Even though they are always at risk of being persecuted, many secret Christians in Afghanistan are still devoted to their faith. Often late at night, they meet in secret places and whisper their prayers so no one can hear them. Even though it is dangerous, the Bible becomes a sign of hope and power for them. Some people do crazy things to hide their Bibles, like hiding them or giving them to other people in secret. Some people learn Bible lines by heart so that they can keep their faith even if someone steals their paper copy. Many reports say that Christians in Afghanistan have been jailed, raped, or even killed for having a Bible or following their faith. These stories break my heart, but they also inspire me because they show how strong these people are. These Christians are very brave to stand by their religion, even though they are in great danger. The Bible is a big part of what keeps them strong. It's not just a holy book for them, it's also a source of comfort and hope in a place where they can't publicly show their faith. There may not be many Christians living secretly in Afghanistan, but they are very strong. Even though the Taliban are always a threat, they still find ways to secretly practice their faith. The Bible is more than just a book for these Christians. It shows how they stand up to injustice and their unwavering faith in something bigger. Being a Bible owner in Afghanistan, Pakistan. A big part of everyday life in Pakistan is religion, and Islam is the main religion held there. But Pakistan's strict libel rules make it dangerous for people of other faiths, especially Christians, to be open about their faith. These laws are supposed to protect Islam from any kind of rudeness, but they are often abused, and people who are accused of blasphemy face harsh punishments. This makes the world a dangerous place for Christians and other religious communities, which makes it hard for them to live freely. This country has some of the toughest rules in the world when it comes to slander. For disrespecting Islam, the Prophet Muhammad, or the Quran, someone can get the death sentence or be locked up for life. There is no clear law against the Bible, but it can be dangerous to own or read one because it could be seen as an insult to Islam in some circumstances. If one person accuses someone of treason, it can change their whole life, even if the claim is false. There are more risks than just breaking the law for Christians in Pakistan who own a Bible. Most of the time, society is the real threat. When a lot of people are accused of slander, they often get violent before the police even get involved. This is called mob violence. When someone was charged with slander, whole groups of Christians have been attacked and homes have been set on fire. Christians who read or own the Bible in public are even more at risk of being hurt by a mob because they are afraid of them. A lot of Christians in Pakistan are always afraid that someone will hurt them because of their faith. It only takes a small mistake for someone to accuse someone of blasphemy, which can have terrible results. Because of fake charges, some Christians have been jailed, beaten, or even killed. Some people have had to leave their homes or hide to keep themselves and their families safe. Christians have a hard time publicly practicing their religion because they are always at risk of being persecuted. Even with these problems, a lot of Christians in Pakistan are still devoted to their faith. They read the Bible and go to church even though it puts them in danger. The Bible is more than just a holy book for them. It gives them power, hope, and direction in a world where they are constantly in danger. In Pakistan, there are underground churches where Christians meet to pray and read the Bible together, even though it is dangerous. There are also many stories of Christians in Pakistan who were persecuted for their faith, but refused to give up. Some of them have been locked up for years, and others have lost everything they owned. They still believe in the Bible, though, and keep looking for ways to live out their faith. These stories are both sad and encouraging because they show how strong Christians are when things go wrong. People in Pakistan think of the Bible as both dangerous and holy. It is holy because it gives Christians the hope and confidence they need to face the problems they face. But it is also dangerous because it can put someone's life at risk. The Bible is more than just a book for the small group of Christians who live in Pakistan. It represents their faith and their fight for freedom of religion in a country where it is often met with hatred. Iran. Iran has strict laws that make it illegal to practice religion freely. These laws are mostly aimed at Christians. Iran is an Islamic republic, so it sees Christians, especially those who have converted from Islam, as a threat to its political and religious power.
Evin Prison is one of the most notorious prisons in the whole world. It is legal to torture prisoners. Executions are a daily reality.
Quitting Islam, which is called apostasy, is a very dangerous crime. People who change to Christianity can be arrested, put in jail, or even put to death. The government is very strict about Bibles. They raid houses and secret churches to take them away and stop the spread of Christianity. In Iran, it is very dangerous to have a Bible or be a part of a Christian group. The police and security forces keep a close eye on what Christians do, which makes it hard for them to publicly practice their faith. It is against the law to convert from Islam, and the government tries to stop the spread of Bibles by raiding secret churches. These hidden churches are very important for Christian groups. They usually meet in people's homes to avoid being caught, since worshiping in public can get people arrested. There's also a lot of pressure on Christians in Iran, especially those who change. Christians are often rejected by their families and towns, in addition to being persecuted by the government. When people leave Islam, many of their family members reject or avoid them, which adds to the legal and mental problems they already have. Because of these problems, Christians have to live in secret and practice their faith alone to avoid getting in trouble with the government and with other people. Even though there are risks, a lot of Iranians are still becoming Christians and finding ways to practice their faith behind closed doors. The main way that Christians in Iran pray is in underground churches, which are secret places where people go to avoid being caught. The government often breaks up these meetings, but Christians keep going because their faith gives them hope. The Bible is very important in these secret prayer services, even though having one could get you in a lot of trouble. Even though it's dangerous, brave Iranian Christians keep spreading their faith. Some people sneak Bibles into the country, while others learn the Bible by heart so they can share it, even if physical copies are taken away. The story of Pastor Youcef Nadarkhani shows how dangerous it can be to be a Christian. He was caught and given the death penalty for becoming a Christian, which got news around the world. Even though his term was shortened, the authorities are still after him. This shows how Christians in Iran are still being persecuted. The Bible is more than just a holy book for many Iranian Christians. It stands for hope, faith, and standing up to oppression. Even though the government wants to stop Christians, the group of Christians who live secretly keeps growing. Christians put their lives at risk to keep and share the Bible. They know it's dangerous, but they do it because they believe it brings hope and forgiveness. In a country where religious freedom is very limited, the Bible is a source of hope. Thanks for watching. Despite the risks, faith continues to thrive in the darkest corners. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories of hope, resilience, and faith across the globe.